Not your typical third Saturday in October. Maybe it is. The rivalry is back. Alabama, number 3, 6-0. Tennessee, number 6, 5-0. Playing for maybe a spot in the college football playoff. We're going to break it all down. The Bama Insider Tailgate Show from Sevierville, Tennessee starts now.
The Bama Football Tailgate Show, brought to you by Bama Insider and On3 Sports Network, is on the air. The Crimson Tide are rolling, and we got you covered with a breakdown of the game matchup, an SEC preview, and all the fun of a game day on the quad. Broadcasting each home game from the Strip in Tuscaloosa. With Bama Insider and On3 Sports Network experts weekly like Kyle Henderson, Andrew Bone, and Clint Lamb, and more. National championship quarterback Jay Barker, and hosted by former Crimson Tide Sports Network's broadcaster and SEC Network award-winning voice, Mick Gillispie. The Bama Insider Tailgate Show is presented by Yuengling Lager. Yuengling, America's oldest brewery, the best way to host a Bama tailgate party. Pearl River Resort Casino and Hotel in Choctaw, Mississippi. Let's play. Now featuring the Sportsbook at the Timeout Lounge. Also brought to you by the Floribama world-famous Beach Bar and Lounge in Orange Beach. Genesis of Tuscaloosa. Luxury with a national championship service department. Visit Sevierville.com. Your Smokies start here. Tuscaloosa Hyundai. Hyundai, the longer you look, the more there is to like. Innisfree, an Alabama Irish pub tradition. Visit Tuscaloosa. Not too small, not too big. Tuscaloosa is pronounced just right. Owa Theme Park and Resort in Foley, Alabama. NewLifeArt.com, publisher of fine art editions by Daniel A. Moore. Screwball, the original peanut butter whiskey. R&R Cigar, home of the Victory Cigar, with 2 locations in Tuscaloosa and Northport. Unique on the Strip. Cathead Distillery, proudly distilling award-winning spirits since 2010. Pawn Royale at 1019 McFarland Boulevard in Northport.
What do you say, everybody? It's time for the Bama Insider Tailgate Show presented by Yuengling Lager, America's oldest brewery. And for the next 2 hours, we're going to preview number 3, Alabama, number 6, Tennessee. That's 2:30, and that's going to be at Neyland Stadium. On today's show, we got a great list of guests for you. Thom Abraham, who is the host of the Thom Abraham Show, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone, our affiliate in North Alabama. We'll talk with Reagan Starner and George Yardley, also known as a.k.a. Leonard's Loser, swung by here to Trotters. And we're going to talk, we'll take a look at some of the games. We're going to pick the games. We'll talk about that as well. And Reagan, of course, selling a lot of cigars in Tuscaloosa. We'll have Clint Lamb on here in just a second, our partner with BamaInsider.com. And we'll have Eric Kane, longtime buddy from VolQuest, to help us get a look at the Tennessee Vols. We got a lot of great guests for you. But let me tell you guys this. The Bama Insider Tailgate Show is brought to you by Yuengling Lager. It's a 6th-generation company. And our good friend Cheryl Yuengling, who's actually in attendance today from Pottsville, Pennsylvania, is one of the owners of Yuengling. She's a proud Alabama grad. They put a little bit of crimson love in each one of those green bottles. And I'll tell you what, here, as we hang out with you at Trotters Whole Hog in Sevierville, you can actually get the Yuengling Hershey's Porter here, which is fantastic. And it's on tap. I'm telling you, it's great. Mick Gillispie with Clint Lamb. Clint, you're supposed to be here right now for number 6. 6-0 Alabama against number 6 Tennessee. They're 5-0 in the year. You're going to be here in person soon. You ran into a little bit of traffic on the way in. But look, brother, it's so good to talk Alabama football. And on a game day, what should you expect, man? Everybody's fired up about this game.
Yeah, first of all, I'm not very happy with the state of Tennessee right now. Whether it be 40 or 75, it just feels like if you hear me lose my train of thought a little bit, it's because I'm starting and stopping in traffic constantly, and that's going to make this all the more difficult. But it's hard to complain too much because you got another great weekend of college football headlined by, Alabama playing Tennessee. Mick, you personally, when's the last time you've been this excited about this matchup?
Dude, I'm excited. I mean, look, Tennessee's my other team. I went to Alabama. I graduated there. I love Alabama. But, being that I spent the last, 16 years up here doing baseball play-by-play, I've kind of grown to like Tennessee too. And so, but ever since, for 15 years, the games really haven't been that compelling. We've had 2 close games, but these are 2 really interesting teams. Alabama is this juggernaut that's struggling a little bit at times, and then Tennessee's up and coming with their great offense. I'm pumped, dude, and I'm so glad that we get to talk to everyone on the Bama Insider YouTube channel. And as you guys watch, all 80,000 of you plus, like, subscribe, share, give us a thumbs up, man. So glad to have you guys with us. And if you're listening on radio, on our statewide network, Roll Tide, everybody, it's a real third Saturday in October game, and everyone is so fired up about it. And don't forget to join us on BamaInsider.com. Right now, you can join. $10 gets you an entire year. But, Clint, I'm pumped, man. I mean, this is what it's supposed to be like.
100%, yeah. I mean, and, there's like question marks going in that makes the game relatively unknown. Like you got, Bryce Young on one side, which is certainly, affecting things as far as the way that Alabama's being perceived. Is he going to play? Is he not going to play? But then you also got like Cedric Tillman on the other end, one of the best wide receivers in college football. Obviously, they've had some guys step up in his absence, but going against Alabama's defense, you want to be at full strength. And with Cedric Tillman right now, teams end up responding to whatever is thrown their way, whether it be, Bryce Young not being at 100%, but playing, or Bryce Young not playing at all. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. And there's a lot of great matchups to look at.
Yeah, look, let's get into this first. Alabama beat Texas A&M, although the AP voters don't seem to think so, and they move Alabama from number 1 to number 3. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I thought it was a little bit extreme. I definitely anticipated them dropping in the polls, especially the way that, Georgia played against Auburn. But I didn't really, anticipate them dropping 2 spots. I feel like, with Alabama, you can clearly look at the circumstances of that game, and you can say, okay, you had a backup quarterback who was in his first ever career start. He turns the football over 3 times. You had 4 total turnovers. You had 2 missed field goals, and Alabama still figured out a way to win the football game. You could put that. Could Georgia overcome all that? Could Ohio State? It's very possible, but I would say that is, given the circumstances, that's about as much as you could have possibly have asked of Alabama. And I just thought that, you can look at Jalen Milroe and say, okay, if Bryce Young is in the lineup rather than Milroe, we could safely assume that probably at least 3 of those turnovers that probably don't happen. You could probably maybe assume, maybe not assume, but I would say it would be a much more likely scenario that Will Riker makes that field goal than the one that he missed after, Jalen Milroe took a sack that he didn't need to take. So when you look at all that stuff, I mean, there was justifiable reasons as to why Alabama struggled in the way that they did. And yet, the committee, or excuse me, the voters, I guess, decided to knock them anyways for it. I did think that was interesting.
Talking with Clint Lamb on the Bama Insider Tailgate Show, getting you ready for Alabama and Tennessee, 2:30 Central Time from Neyland Stadium in Knoxville, number 3 versus number 6, and a huge game in the world of college football. All right, status of Bryce Young. I've said it, and I'll say it on this show. I feel like Bryce Young's going to be under center. I don't know how much he's going to be under center, but I think he's going to start the game. Your thoughts on Bryce Young?
Yeah, I think that you're correct. Obviously, that's not definitive yet. It hadn't been announced that he was going to start or anything, and I don't think it's going to get announced until maybe right before kickoff, if even then. We'll probably, see him going through warm-ups, kind of like he did last week, and it's going to be a matter of whether you're watching him throw or not throw as to whether or not he's going to actually be, playing in the game. So that's what we're going to have to wait on. But from the people that we've talked to, I know that people behind the scenes, people close to the situation, they feel fairly confident that he's going to be able to play. And it is true from the people that I've talked to that he did not throw a pass in practice this week. That's something that I kind of got conflicting reports on, even earlier today. In fact, someone heard me on the radio earlier and gave me a call to let me know, hey, Bryce did throw on Thursday, but it was not during practice. And according to another source, they're saying that he didn't throw a single pass in practice. But at the same time, that's not really affecting anybody's belief on whether or not he's going to be able to play in this football game. You would think that it would, but I think they maybe been doing some stuff with him behind the scenes. And I've also was able to confirm that Ty Simpson and Jalen Milroe both have been splitting the first team snaps in practice. It's not that Bryce hadn't been practicing. It's that, he hadn't been throwing. So he does pretty much everything else until the play. He's supposed to throw the football, and then he doesn't end up doing that side of things just to make sure that he's staying. To me, it wasn't an alarming thing. Like, it wasn't that he was able to. It was that they were trying to rest that arm for as long as humanly possible. And I think they were able to achieve that. It is still possible that they get out there for pregame warm-ups and he is warming up and they just decide, hey, his arm's getting fatigued, or, there's some soreness, or there's some things that are, that just don't look or feel right, or maybe he can't execute the offense to the degree that he's going to need to be able to. And in those, in those scenarios, it's possible that they can look and say, okay, we're not going to end up playing him. So I wouldn't say that it's a definite that he's playing, but I will say that he's trending in that direction.
Well, it's been 15 years plus now since Tennessee beat Alabama, and I guess I'm old because I was there the last time that Alabama lost to Tennessee. It was at Neyland Stadium. Mike Shula was the coach. Alabama had the lead in the fourth quarter. Typical Mike Shula game. They blew it at the end, and they couldn't hang on in the fourth quarter. And then since then, it's been all Alabama. It's hard to kind of put this in perspective when you think about how historic this matchup's been, that it's 15 years since Tennessee's beaten the Tide.
Well, I think that this rivalry has always been a little bit streaky at times, but never to anything like we've seen in the last 15 years. I mean, it's gotten to a point where you've got not just a huge percentage of the fan base, but you're talking about even some of the fans who maybe have been fans for quite a while. This game's lost a lot of its luster. Now, granted, a lot of the older generation, it doesn't matter how long it's been since really this game has been considered, a struggle or, was highly anticipated going in. You're still going to look at it and say, it's Tennessee. We want to win, and we want to win big. And so the rivalry still exists. But, I think going into this game, it's a little bit different because, Tennessee does legitimately have a chance. And it's been exciting to cover this week because I look at it and I say, there are arguments to be made for Tennessee where not only do they win, but they win pretty soundly. Not talking about multiple scores or anything, but I'm saying where it's not like some fluky last second, touchdown that gets them, a come from behind victory or something. It's possible that Tennessee could control a lot of this game. But there are also plenty of scenarios where Alabama could control the game. And I think that if anything happens, if either team gets blown out, I think Tennessee has a much more likely chance of getting blown out than Alabama.
Right.
But other than that one scenario, I'll still say that it's, there's a lot of possibilities on the way that this could work out. I've gone, back and forth and how much, I think that I'm still going to pick Alabama to win regardless of whether Bryce plays or not.
Right.
I think that they, the correct game plan, they can win with Jalen Milroe. I still believe that. Now, granted, I think a lot of that would be dictated based off of how he handles the crowd there at Neyland Stadium, based off of what we saw last week and just him being overwhelmed and not being able to handle things in the moment. But at the same time, I think that if Bryce doesn't play, there is a chance that you could see Ty Simpson, and I think that will be very interesting as well. He's still a true freshman. He can still get overwhelmed. A lot of these young quarterbacks, they tend to, when they make a mistake, they finally get that opportunity, and then, you make a mistake or something, and then you get very down on yourself. So I don't think the expectations for Simpson should be too incredibly high if he ends up playing. But I think that maybe you can give Alabama a different option if they had to. But I still think Alabama is talented enough everywhere else where they can find a way to win. but at the same time, it's an exciting game because we don't know how it's going to work out.
Right. All right, quickly, Bama's inconsistencies. I mean, I think that's kind of the biggest issue that I have with the Crimson Tide. You just never know who's going to show up, and even in the same game.
Yeah, I mean, you're right there. And I think one aspect of this that's kind of being overlooked a little bit is Alabama on the road, because everybody just looks at that Arkansas game, even though they had that kind of, meltdown. I think a lot of that can be attributed to losing your Heisman Trophy winning quarterback. That's going to really crush momentum, and people didn't know how severe it was, even teammates and everything. So that could be a little bit deflating. So I understand it from that perspective. But
well, Clint, I think we lost you, but look, we'll talk to you in person. You're coming back to your hometown here in Sevierville, and we can't wait to talk to you. And we're going to actually get into some Sevierville conversation coming up with David Rule with Trotter's Whole Hog. The Bama Insider Tailgate Show is brought to you by Pearl River Resort and Casino in Choctaw. Now's a great time to make your picks count at the Timeout Sports Lounge and Sports Book. We're going to talk all about Trotters, and I'm telling you, the food here has been tremendous. And downtown Sevierville looks like a different place than it did maybe 5 years ago. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. More Bama Insider Tailgate Show coming up.
This isn't just a beer. It's a lager. A medium-bodied, amber-colored, one-of-a-kind beer. Made from those bold enough to brew it, for those bold enough to drink it. Elevate your taste. Yingling Traditional Lager. Spread your wings.
In some places, football is a sport. In Alabama, football is fine art. Now at newlifeart.com, see Daniel A. Moore's new 2021 Crimson and White Fine Art Calendar, featuring 13 dynamic images of defining moments from the Saban era. As a special offer to listeners of this show, use coupon code ROLLTIDE for $5 off each calendar. To order yours, call 1-800-735-2787 or visit newlifeart.com today.
Tuscaloosa is Alabama's ultimate sports destination and a place for outdoor enthusiasts to thrive. It's a community rooted in history and one that's on the cusp of a burgeoning art scene too. Tuscaloosa is vibrant, it's charming, and it's familiar. Its people welcome you with open arms and warm hellos into a community that's tied together. Tuscaloosa is our home.
Touchdown! Hey guys, look at me. Now look at yourselves. I make the big plays and the big games. You don't. Yeah, you would have made All-State if Coach put you in. Keep telling that story, or you can actually play the game. The sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino puts you in the starting lineup. I'll still be making the plays, you'll be making the bets, and finally getting the sports glory you deserve. The sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. Play the game.
Nothing compares to being at the game in person, but the next best thing has to be Floribama's Old River Grill. There's over 40 TVs, a game day atmosphere, your favorite drinks, and a football menu that will blow you away. Santa Fe egg rolls, traditional jumbo chicken wings, grilled cheese and chili cheese dogs, and you've got to try our tender pork shank served with a tropical habanero sauce. We call them Island Pig Wings. Floribama's Old River Grill, the perfect game day when you can't be there in person. Floribama's.
Looking for something one of a kind? Shop downtown Owa, where you'll find everything from handcrafted local favorites to national brands, high-end chocolates, Native American-inspired gifts. You'll find it in downtown Owa. In downtown Owa, what you want is always on the menu. From wine and charcuterie to family-style meals and moonshine tastings. Dine in or outside overlooking the lake. Your table's waiting in downtown Owa.
Barry Buckner for Genesis of Tuscaloosa. You've heard it said, affordable luxury. But when it comes to affordable service, every new Genesis we sell comes with 3-year, 36,000-mile complimentary service. If you want to pay more, that's your business. If you want to save, that's our business. GenesisofTuscaloosa.com.
Ownership limitations may apply. See your retailer for details. Genesis reserves the right to change program without notice. Exclusions may apply.
Do you consider yourself a black sheep, misfit, or screwball? If so, we've got the perfect drink for you. Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey. Screwball combines two of America's favorite, peanut butter and whiskey. Enjoy it neat, on the rocks, or in your favorite cocktail. Screwball, the original most awarded peanut butter whiskey, is now available near you. Go to screwballwhiskey.com for more information. Enjoy responsibly.
Advertisement by Screwball Spirits, LLC, San Diego, California. Whiskey with natural flavors, 35% alcohol by volume.
Insider Tailgate Show, getting you set for Alabama and Tennessee kickoff at 2:30. That's at Neyland Stadium here in Knoxville, or actually we're in Sevierville for this show, but nearby Knoxville. Tennessee's trying to beat Alabama for the first time in 16 games, and today they have a pretty good chance. The odds are about as low as I can remember. Let me tell you guys that we really appreciate our friends at Visit Sevierville and for setting us up here at Trotter's Whole Hog, which is in downtown Sevierville. They've treated us great. I mean, this has been awesome. The show's brought to you by Genesis of Tuscaloosa. Our friend Barry Buckner and his staff bring you award-winning service, a service department that you can't beat. They're located on Hargrove Road and Skyland in Tuscaloosa. Find out for yourself. If something happens to your car and you need service, they'll bring a car to your house and then they'll take it back to their service shop, fix it, bring it back, and you'll be in great shape. Well, look, let me throw him up on the screen. There he is right there. Great to hang out with our man David Rule from Trotter's Whole Hog. A little bit apprehensive when you heard an Alabama show was coming in as a lifelong Tennessee guy, right?
Just a little bit.
Let's get this out of the way.
Yeah,
right?
just a little bit. Born and raised here, right outside Knoxville. I bleed orange, so to say. I'm just happy that hopefully we can compete this year.
Hey, look, this is a compelling matchup, and I think that Tennessee's definitely going in the right direction. Look, getting Randy Boyd as the president of the university's really turned everything around because so many games are lost by people that don't even get near the football field.
Absolutely.
Right? He's such a great competitor. Well, let's talk a little bit about Sevierville, and then we'll talk some about Trotters. Dolly Parton's from here.
Absolutely.
Right?
It's our hometown.
And I walk up and I see there's a mural of Dolly Parton on the building.
There's a mural. There's a statue. She's the queen around here.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Sure.
She gives everyone, all the kids get books.
Yeah,
which is
Imagination
pretty cool.
Library. It's a great cause, and we're proud that she represents us so well here.
Yeah, I wish she was the picker.
Yeah. They kind of teased that out a little bit. Happy that Peyton's going to be there, but either way,
she would have been great though. How much fun is it to be part of a barbecue place like this? And I got a tour today, and I've eaten the food, and as soon as Clint gets here, we're going to do some more eating. Yeah. But it's incredible. It smells great in here. You're in downtown Sevierville, which is totally remodeled, and then anyone that's tailgating and you're looking for like the right food to bring to your tailgate.
Oh, this is the place. This is the place for sure.
This is like tailgate food, man.
Yeah. I have a little bit more of a fine dining background, but barbecue's always been a passion. At the very least, we love to play with fire. We like to build big fires. And, when we opened this place, we decided to do whole hog. That's kind of our mainstay, but we've got a lot of other great options on there as well. We're young, so we're just about 3 months old here at Trotters, but we've already cooked about 75 pigs in those 3 months, and the reception's been great. Downtown Sevierville's growing, and it's just been awesome.
Well, it's like what's crazy is that we're at Trotters, but then you guys have like sister restaurants all over the place.
Yeah, so we have the Appalachian restaurant that's 2 doors down. That's kind of our southern fine dining restaurant. We're about to open a entertainment venue called the Pines. So it'll have a full food menu, duck pin bowling, retro games, awesome bar. So that'll be our third concept in just under 2 years. We've got a lot of great other restaurants and things to do right here in the downtown area as well. 3 or 4 years ago, you come down here, there wasn't much going on.
Right.
So it's awesome to see it coming back to life.
So a lot of our audience listening all across the state of Alabama, really around the world on YouTube, but listening, they come up here for vacation all the time, right? And it's like you need to make it part of your vacation. If you're coming to, to this area, you're coming to the Smoky Mountains, you're going to Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge, you need to stop in Sevierville too, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is just amazing how cool this is.
Yeah, that's the whole reason that we're here. We love our travelers that come into town. Downtown Sevierville has kind of been underserved through the years. Gatlinburg's excellent. Pigeon Forge is awesome. But Sevierville here is kind of the county seat. And, we're trying to bring some good culture and some great food and entertainment to this area.
Well, before we talk about this matchup, I got to tell you the beer cooler here is. I need this at my house.
Cheers.
I have cheers right here. This is what we do on this show. We have a kegerator which has two beers in the studio.
Mm-hmm.
You guys looks like a beer truck.
So we've got 20 taps. It's a system where you get one of these bracelets right here, and you can just walk up. You can get as little as 1 ounce pour all the way up to a full pint. We try to display local and regional craft breweries, but it's awesome to be able to go through and just try a lot of different things to figure out, what your taste is, and then you can finally fill yourself up a pint and get some barbecue and hang out.
Well, they've told me that you're the guy behind the Grateful Dead style shirts and stuff. So that makes me like you a lot. Since I spent half my life listening to the Dead or following the Dead.
Yeah.
Very cool swag here. Let's talk. Give me your take on the game.
Well, I think that it's all going to come down to defense and special teams for Tennessee. Our offense has been pretty consistent. Hooker's awesome. I hope he continues to do the same. If our defense can perform the way they did last week against LSU, special teams perform the same way, I think we got a good shot. Not to mention, being in Nayland and having those home fans behind them.
Oh, yeah.
Screaming, raising hell.
Yeah, it's going to be a ruckus environment.
Oh, it's going to be wild.
Yeah.
We've been hadn't been the best time period for UT football. We've been through our ups and downs, and the excitement around this year is just incredible.
Yeah, it really is. Well, David, thank you so much for the hospitality. Everyone that's out there, come hang at Trotter's Whole Hog here in Sevierville, or check out all the other stuff that is in this area too. This whole street has turned into amazing dining, and you guys do it the right way, man. Thank you so much.
I appreciate that. I appreciate y'all having us.
Hey guys, let me remind you that now's a great time to pick up Crimson Connection from Daniel A. Moore. It's a tribute in oils to Bryce Young, Alabama's 4th Heisman Trophy winner. Full color oil painting depicts Bryce Young's memorable Heisman-worthy go-ahead pinpoint pass to John Mechie in the corner of the end zone as Alabama dismantled Georgia and their big-time defense in the SEC championship game. Find out for yourself. Get them. They're autographed now by Bryce, newlifeart.com. When we come back, we'll talk to Thom Abraham from 97.7 ESPN The Zone. The Bama Insider Tailgate Show continues right after this.
Barry Buckner for Tuscaloosa Hyundai. Every Tuscaloosa Hyundai is value priced, and Tuscaloosa Hyundai doesn't add the side sticker. Side stickers mean you pay thousands more. Everything is value priced at Tuscaloosa Hyundai. No additional dealer markups. It's just that simple. So if you're tired of getting stuck with side stickers, no additional markup is why you come to Tuscaloosa Hyundai, corner of Skyline and Hargrove.
Do you consider yourself a black sheep, misfit, or screwball? If so, we've got the perfect drink for you. Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey. Screwball combines 2 of America's favorite, peanut butter and whiskey. Enjoy it neat, on the rocks, or in your favorite cocktail. Screwball, the original most awarded peanut butter whiskey, is now available near you. Go to screwballwhiskey.com for more information. Enjoy responsibly.
Advertisement by Screwball Spirits, LLC, San Diego, California. Whiskey with natural flavors, 35% alcohol by volume.
Check out Pawn Royale at 1019 McFarland Boulevard in Northport. The summer season is almost over. Time to go to Pawn Royale and find some amazing deals. Right now, our lawn and gardening inventory must go. That includes mowers, trimmers, blowers, chainsaws, you name it. Pawn Royale has deals on everything. Many items at cost or less. If you're in the market, come make a deal. That's Pawn Royale, 1019 McFarland Boulevard in Northport.
Unique on the Strip. It's the best place to watch sports.
You're not even kidding. 11 TVs, NFL and MLB package, NHL, EPL, and so much more. If you want a game, they have it.
Now they're doing weekly NFL Pick'em, winners every Sunday, and grand prizes on Super Bowl Sunday.
And we haven't even mentioned the drink specials.
Of course they have daily drink specials. You can see them on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Unique T-Town every day.
Unique on the Strip, the best place to watch sports in Tuscaloosa.
Touchdown! Hey guys, look at me. Now look at yourselves. I make the big plays and the big games. You don't. Yeah, you would have made All-State if Coach put you in. Keep telling that story, or you can actually play the game. The sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino puts you in the starting lineup. I'll still be making the plays, you'll be making the bets. And finally getting the sports glory you deserve. The sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. Play the game.
Tuscaloosa is Alabama's ultimate sports destination and a place for outdoor enthusiasts to thrive. It's a community rooted in history and one that's on the cusp of a burgeoning art scene too. Tuscaloosa is vibrant, it's charming, and it's familiar. Its people welcome you with open arms and warm hellos into a community that's tied together. Tuscaloosa is our home.
R&R Cigars invites you to the Cigar Mansion in downtown Tuscaloosa, or the newest location in Northport in the Winn-Dixie Shopping Center. Now 2 awesome locations serving Tuscaloosa and Northport. The best cigar selection and bourbon in the Southeast awaits you. R&R Cigar is your home for all sports. Outsource your man cave to R&R. Get a cigar in Yingling for $10 when you tell them Mick sent you. 2703 6th Street, downtown Tuscaloosa, near Home 2 Suites, or Northport, next to Winn-Dixie. TheCigarMansion.com.
This isn't just a beer. It's a lager. A medium-bodied, amber-colored, one-of-a-kind beer. Made from those bold enough to brew it, for those bold enough to drink it. Elevate your taste. Yingling Traditional Lager. Spread your wings.
Welcome back to the Bama Insider Tailgate Show, getting you ready for the annual third Saturday in October showdown between the Alabama Crimson Tide and the Tennessee Vols. And all year long, we've been telling you about Visit Sevierville in Sevierville, Tennessee. That's exactly where we are right now. We're in Sevierville, Tennessee, and we want to tell you all about the 4 self-guided fall driving tours that are along the back roads that highlight historical points of interest and beautiful views. You can check out maps and more. Visit Sevierville.com/fall. And we're at Trotter's Whole Hog, which is in downtown Sevierville, newly remodeled downtown Sevierville, by the way. The place is gorgeous. I know a lot of you guys listening, you go to, vacation in the mountains, you're coming right through here. You need to check this place out. And I'm going to talk more about it on the show. But first, let's play this.
Autumn brings vivid colors to the back roads and hollows of Sevierville, Tennessee. Wind your way to quaint country churches, a historic covered bridge, and even a pick-your-own apple orchard. This fall, the best views are yours on Sevierville's Rocky Flats Fall Driving Tour. Learn more and find additional fall drives to enjoy at visitsevierville.com/fall.
All right, there we go. And that normally means that on this show, we bring on our friend Thom Abraham from 97.7 ESPN The Zone in North Alabama, up there, Huntsville area. What's up, brother? How you doing?
Man, I tell you what, I love me some Sevierville. And if I was there, I would be stopping by the Bass Pro Shops in Sevierville. They got one of the best ones ever. And I've done several shows there, in fact, from Bass Pro Shops with Bassmaster Radio, and that's really, really cool. But that whole area is just so beautiful up there.
Right. People know you from the Thom Abraham show, but they also know you from Bassmasters Radio. And you broke down that whole thing that happened with the walleye fishermen. Yeah. I don't get into that today, but I think there was a lot of people that were listening that day, as those guys have now been arrested and charged. Just kind of loving to get your perspective. But look, if we don't talk Alabama, Tennessee, people are going to kill us today. This is the matchup that we always wanted. Like, when I was in school, Tom, Alabama stunk. They were terrible. They lost to Tennessee every single year. Then Nick Saban took over, and it's been 15 straight wins for Alabama and only 2 close games. So now both teams are doing their part, right? Tennessee's really good. They got the dynamic offense and Hendon Hooker, and Alabama is Alabama, right? So it's 3 versus 6. It's going to be just a heck of a game today.
Well, it's only the second time during Saban's reign of terror that both teams have been ranked. I think the other one was 2016 in Alabama. That was also in Knoxville, and Alabama hammered them pretty good there on that one. And this isn't going to go on forever. You got to feel at some particular point in time, Tennessee's going to break through and win one of these ones. But I wonder, Mick, about this particular one because of the fact that, look, everybody's talking about Tennessee. Everyone is on Hendon Hooker as a potential Heisman Trophy candidate in this dynamic offense and so on. I often thought that if it were to happen, it would happen in a scenario where Alabama would be overlooking him or get upset by him. Let's be honest. These kids that play for Alabama now, they don't remember the last time that Tennessee won this football game. To them, they look at it on the schedule and, oh, that's a rollover. And they look to the next one. And so this year it's different. And it may be the worst thing that has happened for Tennessee is that all the attention is directly on Tennessee here. And that not only are the kids very aware of it, Henry Toa is very aware of it. He got called out by a caller to Vols calls the other night where they said, let's run something over the middle because we know Henry Toa can't cover anything. And, of course, Nick Saban, when you give him a chance to kind of devise, the best potential defense and offense for a particular game, he always seems to rise to the occasion here. So it'll be very interesting to see how this one goes.
Look, Tennessee's getting a heavy dose of rat poison. This is something that Alabama deals with all the time, and Nick Saban's constantly talking about don't read your press clippings, but Tennessee's earned it. I mean, the way that they went and just absolutely dismantled LSU in the smoky gray uniforms, which I got to tell you, I loved them. And then Alabama,
I love them that full time.
They should. I think they should. I like when teams mix it up. Alabama's not going to mix it up, but it's cool to see that. I heard somebody told me that Tennessee was going to try to do orange helmets, but that they got there, and I don't know if this is true or not. I didn't vet it, but it came from a good source that the helmets came in the wrong color orange. They were going to orange out, and so you can't use 2 different color oranges, right? No. With that said, though, right, it's got to be the right shade. But when you see that crimson and you see that orange and they go head to head, man, it just means college football. And I've said it on this show many times, and people kind of didn't believe me in the past. This is my favorite rivalry in college football, man. I mean, I love this third Saturday, and I love the fact that everyone's on Tennessee right now. No one's thinking about Alabama anymore.
Well, they're thinking about them. I mean, but it is the fact that this is the year, just like several years ago when Alabama went to Georgia, and Alabama was actually an underdog in that particular game, and that was it. It was over with. The Alabama reign was done, and, of course, Alabama went big in that game. But, look, there are some things that Tennessee certainly does very, very well. I mean, this offense is absolutely tremendous. They do a great job. Hendon Hooker is a problem. Even if you think you have him contained, he can hurt you with his feet. So that becomes another issue. So all of those things become issues. But Alabama's been in a lot of these type of games. They're kind of bred for these type of games. So we'll see what happens here. Now, we documented their problems on the road. They have struggled at times on the road in certain environments. This place is going to be absolutely nuts. And I'll tell you what, I think both teams, they usually defer when you win the toss. I think both teams tonight, whoever wins the toss, should take the ball. If I'm Tennessee, I want the ball, and I want to go down the field, and I want to score and get up on Alabama, try and get up on Alabama, and get my crowd going absolutely crazy. And if I'm Nick Saban and they win the toss, same thing. Take the ball, try and put together a 12-play drive, shorten the game, maybe get on the board, get some points, and put some doubt into Tennessee's mind. So I think it'd be a little bit different mindset than what we usually see on whoever wins the toss tonight. Whoever scores early could set the tone for this one.
Right, and I feel the same exact way. I think if Alabama falls behind and has to chase Tennessee, it could be one of those long games, right? But I think their defense will make some plays. If Tennessee gets ahead and Alabama chases them, they might be able to put a lot of pressure on Bryce Young, who I'm thinking is quarterbacking, right? Or Jalen Milroe, if that's who's in there. I mean, we don't really have a definitive answer. We're not going to until kickoff.
Yeah, I would agree to that. We won't know until, and it won't matter who gets announced, right? Because last week, Bryce Young was announced as the starting quarterback for the Texas A&M game at home, and everybody went nuts. And it's like, no, he's not playing. He didn't even warm up. But I think that Bryce Young does go in this game. Milroe does present some other issues, though, because of the wild card. When he sneaks out of the pocket, he can take off. But the passing attack is so diminished when Milroe is in there. He still tends to look at the rush quite a bit. And if it's not there immediately, he tries to squirt out of there, whereas you're not going to get that with Bryce Young. The thing with Bryce Young is, though, with the shoulder injury, you wonder whether or not he would be more reticent to run, which keeps him in the pocket, and just how strong is that shoulder. So, in a way, if I'm Tennessee, I'm looking at Bryce Young, but I'm not looking at the fully healthy Bryce Young. I'm looking at a Bryce Young that's probably going to look to stay in that pocket.
Hanging out with Thom Abraham on the Bama Insider Tailgate Show. If you're watching on the Bama Insider YouTube channel, part of On3 Now, like, subscribe, hit the thumbs up. If you're listening on radio across the state of Alabama, roll tide, everybody. Thank you for being here. As we hang out in Sevierville, Tennessee, visit Sevierville.com. They've been one of our great partners. So many of you guys come this direction when you go to the mountains, when you spend your holidays here, Christmas, fall, whatever. Visit Sevierville.com. So, enjoying it as we hang out at Trotter's Whole Hog. I've got, Tom, I don't know if you can see this, but I've got this big plate of food right here. It's going to go down easy. I'm talking about sausage. I'm talking about some Texas toast. I got some smoked chicken. They're bringing me smoked meatloaf. I mean, we do it all here.
You think they got a baby back rib there or two, maybe?
Yeah. I was hanging out with the guy out back that's doing the smoking, and he was showing me the hogs, and he was showing me how he did the ribs. He was painting the ribs as we were kind of getting ready for the show. All right, well, give me your thoughts on what Alabama is going to have to do to win this football game, and what does Tennessee have to do to win this game?
Well, I think for Tennessee to win the game, they need to, hit a couple of plays downfield. They're going to have to try and get, protect Hendon Hooker and allow him to take a couple of shots against that Alabama defensive backfield that still struggles a little bit. Now, can Tennessee slow down Alabama's passing attack? That's the other thing. They come in, one of the worst pass defenses in all of college football. Now, some of that is that they've been ahead a lot, and there's some garbage yards in there against them. But still, if Alabama can hold off the pass rush of Tennessee, they can take some shots and do some damage against that Tennessee pass defense. For Alabama, they need to take care of the football. They're not getting takeaways this year, so their turnover ratio right now is one of the worst in all of college football. But they need to take care of the ball. They can't be putting the ball on the ground and giving this Tennessee offense added possessions, and they have to shorten the game. Do whatever you can to shorten the game. And sometimes you can score fast, but it doesn't make sense to score fast. If you can matriculate your way down the field and have some long drives and shorten this game a little bit, limit the possessions for Tennessee, you got a heck of a chance to win the football game.
You know him from 97.7 ESPN, The Zone in North Alabama, the Thom Abraham Show, Bassmasters Radio. Tom, always great to see you, my friend, and enjoy this Saturday of college football.
All right, man. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. Hey, guys, let me remind you that our show is presented by Tuscaloosa Hyundai. The Bama Insider Tailgate Show loves the Elantra, the Sinatra, or SUVs like the Tucson. Tailgating doesn't get any better. Neither does recruiting. Neither does recruiting. However you want to say it. Andrew Bone coming up is going to give us an insight on Alabama recruiting. Don't go anywhere. More Bama Insider Tailgate Show coming up next. The first legal distillery in the state of Mississippi, founded in 2010 by friends and fellow Alabama grads Austin Evans and Richard Patrick, to create small batch spirits that give the taste of the South with every sip. Best known for its flagship Cathead Vodka, Cathead Distillery produces 5 award-winning brands. Find out for yourself and pick some up for your next party or tailgate. CatheadDistillery.com.
Touchdown! Hey guys, look at me. Now look at yourselves. I make the big plays and the big games. You don't. Yeah, you would have made All-State if Coach put you in. Keep telling that story, or you can actually play the game. The sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino puts you in the starting lineup. I'll still be making the plays. You'll be making the bets. and finally getting the sports glory you deserve. The Sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. Play the game.
In some places, football is a sport. In Alabama, football is fine art. Now at newlifeart.com, see Daniel A. Moore's new 2021 Crimson and White Fine Art Calendar, featuring 13 dynamic images of defining moments from the Saban era. As a special offer to listeners of this show, use coupon code ROLLTIDE for $5 off each calendar. To order yours, call 1-800-735-2787 or visit newlifeart.com today.
Autumn brings vivid colors to the back roads and hollows of Sevierville, Tennessee. Wind your way to quaint country churches, a historic covered bridge, and even a pick-your-own apple orchard. This fall, the best views are yours on Sevierville's Rocky Flats Fall Driving Tour. Learn more and find additional fall drives to enjoy at visitsevierville.com/fall.
Barry Buckner for Genesis of Tuscaloosa. You've heard it said, affordable luxury. But when it comes to affordable service, every new Genesis we sell comes with 3-year, 36,000-mile complimentary service. If you want to pay more, that's your business. If you want to save, that's our business. GenesisofTuscaloosa.com.
Ownership limitations may apply. See your retailer for details. Genesis reserves the right to change program without notice. Exclusions may apply.
This isn't just a beer. It's a lager. A medium-bodied, amber-colored, one-of-a-kind beer. Made from those bold enough to brew it, for those bold enough to drink it. Elevate your taste. Yingling Traditional Lager. Spread your wings.
Nothing compares to being at the game in person, but the next best thing has to be Floribama's Old River Grill. There's over 40 TVs, a game day atmosphere, your favorite drinks, and a football menu that will blow you away. Santa Fe egg rolls, traditional jumbo chicken wings, grilled cheese and chili cheese dogs, and you've got to try our tender pork shank served with a tropical habanero sauce. We call them Island Pig Wings. Floribama's Old River Grill, the perfect game day when you can't be there in person. Floribama's Old River Grill, across the street from the world-famous Floribama.
Do you consider yourself a black sheep, misfit, or screwball? If so, we've got the perfect drink for you. Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey. Screwball combines two of America's favorite, peanut butter and whiskey. Enjoy it neat, on the rocks, or in your favorite cocktail. Screwball, the original most awarded peanut butter whiskey, is now available near you. Go to screwballwhiskey.com for more information. Enjoy responsibly.
Advertisement by Screwball Spirits, LLC, San Diego, California. Whiskey with natural flavors, 35% alcohol by volume.
Back in on the Bama Insider Tailgate Show, getting you ready for Alabama and Tennessee, 2:30 kickoff. Alabama number 3, Tennessee number 6. It's just like old times with Bear Bryant and General Kneeling going head-to-head, right? I mean, this is the kind of matchup that we love in Tuscaloosa, and they love in Knoxville when both teams are really good and they go head-to-head. Before we preview that, though, and talk some recruiting with Andrew Bone, let me remind you that our show is brought to you by Tuscaloosa Hyundai.
Every Tuscaloosa Hyundai is value priced, and Tuscaloosa Hyundai doesn't add the side sticker. Side stickers mean you pay thousands more. Everything is value priced at Tuscaloosa Hyundai. No additional dealer markup. It's just that simple. Every Tuscaloosa Hyundai is value priced. So if you're tired of getting stuck with side stickers, no additional markup is why you come to Tuscaloosa Hyundai, corner of Skyline and Hargrove.
All right, guys, as we talk to you, our show is brought to you by Yingling Lager, and we're hanging out here at Trotter's Whole Hog in Sevierville. I just popped it up there for you, Bone, the picture of Trotter's. Let me slide it in. Bone, do you like collard greens? Do you like smoked chicken? Do you like potato salad?
I mean, yeah.
Are you American? Well, that's what we're doing right now in Sevierville. All right, let's talk some recruiting. Brother. Good to see you back on the show. Alabama, Texas A&M last week, a ton of recruits. Alabama and Tennessee haven't really fought it out over a bunch of guys lately. But if Tennessee wins this football game today, that could change in a hurry. Kind of give us an update on the recruiting battles between these two schools, and maybe any update on something that might have happened last week?
Yeah, I think there's probably more excitement coming out of Knoxville today than there has been in a long time. A lot of confidence. You just haven't seen much confidence coming out of Rocky Top through the last several years, and I think with a lot of people not knowing for sure the status of Bryce Young heading into the game, and obviously the high-powered offense that Tennessee brings, the home atmosphere, the excitement around the program. There's this feeling in Knoxville that Alabama's time's up, but I'll be surprised if that's the case. But this is definitely a big recruiting weekend for Tennessee. They're going to have a lot of top recruits in town. This is definitely one of those games that in the past, they probably didn't want a lot of recruits in attendance because it was going to be a 30-point win for the away team. But this is a game that they've definitely had circled on their calendar for a long time. Definitely a lot of top recruits heading into Knoxville today, and certainly expecting a rocking atmosphere. So we'll see if if they play it close, if they potentially pull out a win, if it affects any recruits. We'll just have to kind of wait and see. But we have started seeing more recruiting battles between Tennessee and Alabama in this recruiting cycle. And there's always some. I mean, there's some in just about every single year because Alabama, they're going to go after the top end guys in every single state in the country, including the state of Tennessee. We've seen some great players from Tennessee sign with Alabama, but Tennessee is also going to go after elite recruits as well. They're going to recruit in in the same states that Alabama recruits in. They're going to come into the state of Alabama and try to land elite players as well. So, this is a year that, there's probably 3 or 4 guys in particular that, are going to end up choosing between Alabama and Tennessee and maybe 1 or 2 other schools, but definitely have Alabama and Tennessee on the short list. One is 5-star defensive lineman David Hobbs out of North Carolina. He's going to be in town today for an unofficial visit. He's actually taking his official visit to Alabama next weekend. This is one of the premier defensive linemen in the country. Definitely somebody that Alabama wants to get, but has also visited Tennessee several times. He's visited Alabama, I think 3 times total, so he'll be in Tuscaloosa next weekend for his 4th visit. Likely going to decide sometime in November, but as of right now, it's looking more like an Alabama, Tennessee, Georgia battle. I know on the recruiting RPM machine, according to On3 Sports, North Carolina has a little bit of an edge, but I think that was more so a few months ago when when North Carolina was the heavy favorite for Hobbs. He was originally supposed to announce a decision in August, decided to hold off after he took an unofficial to Alabama. And then, obviously, Georgia, Tennessee certainly coming after him very heavily. So this is one of the top targets on both of their recruiting boards. Another big target for both schools is Jaron Hamilton, a 4-star wide receiver out of Gainesville. Was in Tuscaloosa last weekend for an unofficial. Don't think he's going to be in Knoxville this weekend, but he's actually going to take an official visit to Michigan next week. He visited Tennessee last month. So this is more of an Alabama-Tennessee Michigan battle. I do think it comes down between Alabama and Tennessee. Alabama's been pushing hard for him, really ever since he came into to Tuscaloosa for Alabama's camp in June. Came back to Tuscaloosa in July and was also at the A&M game last week. And so that's 3 unofficial visits to Alabama for Jaron Hamilton. They've certainly done a great job. But I think in the end it comes down between those 2 schools. As of right now, still leaning a little bit more towards the Crimson Tide for Jaron Hamilton. And then another pretty intriguing prospect is Arion Carter. This is a kid who received an offer from Alabama and Tennessee in the month of September. He's a 2023 linebacker out of Smyrna High School in Tennessee, currently committed to Memphis, but we've seen this kid's offer sheet grow tremendously over the course of the last month. And he's scheduled, including one to Alabama for the Iron Bowl. He's going to visit Knoxville here in the next couple weeks. He's going to be in LSU, and he just canceled a visit to Michigan. So we'll see if he ends up rescheduling a trip back to Michigan. I know he's visiting Ohio State. Also, in November. So right now, I would, even though he's committed to Memphis, I think his final decision comes down between Alabama, Ohio State, and Tennessee. He won't be in Knoxville this weekend. It's his birthday weekend, so he's going to stay at home, enjoy it from the home base. I asked him the other night, I said, who are you picking? He wouldn't pick a school just because he didn't want to make either one of those fan bases or coaching staffs upset. But this is a kid who's been to Tuscaloosa twice in the last month. Very high on Alabama's recruiting board after his senior film, started getting passed around. Alabama really wants this kid as a part of its 2023 class. But we're going to see a lot of underclassmen also in Knoxville this weekend. Some kids from Alabama, really some top end guys from all across the country that are, looking at both programs. So it's going to be pretty intriguing. If Tennessee can potentially pull out a win, how much is that going to affect recruiting? Moving forward, we saw last year when Texas A&M beat Alabama in College Station. We saw the way that their recruiting class really took shape. Ended up signing the number one class in the country, and obviously the Texas A&M they don't have the same type of classes they had last year, but have still landed some big name guys in their class this year. So will this game potentially help Tennessee one way or the other, even if it's a close game? I mean, you look at Alabama's game earlier this season against Texas. It was a pretty great atmosphere. People have seen what Texas has been able to do really since that game, and still competing at a very high level. Does Alabama go into Knoxville? Do they knock them off? Do they is it a close game throughout? So this can certainly have some serious implications on the recruiting landscape of things. Not just in this year's class, right, but in several classes to come.
No doubt. Well, tell us about Andrew J. Bone Real Estate Group. They bring you on our show each and every Saturday.
I really appreciate those people. There's some awesome people at Andrew J. Bone Real Estate Group, so we appreciate them. If you're looking to buy or sell a property, residential in the Tuscaloosa, Birmingham markets, please give us a call. I'll be more than happy to help. Whether that's finding you a game day condo, just listing your home, we can certainly help you out. So give us a call, 205-531-5577.
All right, there he is, Andrew Bone, always doing great work. Thank you, Bone, and looking forward to hanging out with you Tuesday at 8 o'clock on the Bama Insider YouTube channel. That's when we talk recruiting on the Andrew Bone Show every Tuesday. Let me remind you guys that the Bama Insider Tailgate Show is presented by Visit Tuscaloosa. That's Tuscaloosa's Farmers Market. Takes place every Saturday at the River Market from 7 to noon. You got the Tuscaloosa Civil Rights Trail. That's a self-guided tour with 18 stops around Tuscaloosa, part of the state Civil Rights Trail, which is really historic. It's something that you want to check out. The Tuscaloosa Amphitheater with great concerts, Druid City Music Hall, and so many more great things going on in T-Town. That does it. First hour of the show in the books. When we come back, we're going to talk to you guys about Visit Sevierville, Tennessee. That's where we're at right now as Alabama gets set to take on Tennessee. We're going to talk some Trotters whole hog. We're going to talk some Alabama and Tennessee. Don't go anywhere. More Bama Insider Tailgate Show coming up. Check out Pawn Royale at 1019 McFarland Boulevard in Northport. The summer season is almost over. Time to go to Pawn Royale and find some amazing deals. Right now, our lawn and gardening inventory must go. That includes mowers, trimmers, blowers, chainsaws, you name it. Pawn Royale has deals on everything. Many items at cost or less. If you're in the market, come make a deal. That's Pawn Royale, 1019 McFarland Boulevard in Northport.
Hi, Barry Buckner for Tuscaloosa Hyundai. Every Tuscaloosa Hyundai is value priced, and Tuscaloosa Hyundai doesn't add the side sticker. Side stickers mean you pay thousands more. Everything is value priced at Tuscaloosa Hyundai. No additional dealer markups. It's just that simple. So if you're tired of getting stuck with side stickers, no additional markup is why you come to Tuscaloosa Hyundai, corner of Skyline and Hargrove.
Cathead, the first legal distillery in the state of Mississippi. Founded in 2010 by friends and fellow Alabama grads Austin Evans and Richard Patrick to create small batch spirits that give the taste of the South with every sip. Best known for its flagship Cathead Vodka, Cathead Distillery produces 5 award-winning brands. Find out for yourself and pick some up for your next party or tailgate. CatheadDistillery.com.
R&R Cigars invites you to the Cigar Mansion in downtown Tuscaloosa, or the newest location in Northport in the Winn-Dixie Shopping Center. Now 2 awesome locations serving Tuscaloosa and Northport. The best cigar selection and bourbon in the Southeast awaits you. R&R Cigar is your home for all sports. Outsource your man cave to R&R. Get a cigar in Yingling for $10 when you tell them Mick sent you. 2703 6th Street, downtown Tuscaloosa, near Home 2 Suites, or Northport, next to Winn-Dixie. TheCigarMansion.com.
Barry Buckner for Genesis of Tuscaloosa. You've heard it said, affordable luxury. But when it comes to affordable service, every new Genesis we sell comes with 3-year, 36,000-mile complimentary service. If you want to pay more, that's your business. If you want to save, that's our business. GenesisofTuscaloosa.com.
Ownership limitations may apply. See your retailer for details. Genesis reserves the right to change program without notice. Exclusions may apply.
Unique on the Strip. It's the best place to watch sports.
You're not even kidding. 11 TVs, NFL and MLB package, NHL, EPL, and so much more. If you want a game, they have it.
Now they're doing weekly NFL Pick'em, winners every Sunday, and grand prizes on Super Bowl Sunday.
And we haven't even mentioned the drink specials.
Of course they have daily drink specials. You can see them on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Unique T-Town every day.
Unique on the Strip, the best place to watch sports in Tuscaloosa.
This isn't just a beer. It's a lager. A medium-bodied, amber-colored, one-of-a-kind beer. Made from those bold enough to brew it, for those bold enough to drink it. Elevate your taste. Yingling Traditional Lager. Spread your wings.
Autumn brings vivid colors to the back roads and hollows of Sevierville, Tennessee. Wind your way to quaint country churches, a historic covered bridge, and even a pick-your-own apple orchard. This fall, the best views are yours on Sevierville's Rocky Flats Fall Driving Tour. Learn more and find additional fall drives to enjoy at visitsevierville.com/fall.
Second hour of the Bama Insider Tailgate Show, getting you ready for Alabama and Tennessee. Talking to you live from Sevierville, Tennessee, as Alabama and Tennessee play at 2:30 Central Time at Neyland Stadium. What a matchup it's going to be. Number 3, Alabama, 6-0. Number 6, Tennessee, 5-0. And the third Saturday in October really feels like a third Saturday matchup. I've been telling you guys for years, this is my favorite rivalry. It's one of the greatest rivalries in college football. Before we get into everything else, is Clint Lamb will be joining us here momentarily. Let me remind you that if you're hanging out with us on the Bama Insider YouTube channel, like, subscribe, share, give us a thumbs up, man. We love you guys being part of everything that we're doing right now. Now that we're part of On3, we are just absolutely stoked that you guys are with us here. And the BamaInsider.com site right now up and rolling, and we want you guys to be a part of it. Now that we're with On3, easy to do. You get all the recruiting with Andrew Bone, Joseph Hastings. You get the insider information, the team coverage with Clint Lamb and Jimmy Stein. So much more to come. You get a year for $10 right now at BamaInsider.com. You get $1, gets you 4 months. If that's, just want to get your toe wet, see what it's all about. You can do that as well. And, hey, don't forget, after the game, Jay Barker and I will be on the Bama Insider YouTube channel. We'll be breaking down the Alabama game. We'll take your calls. That's brought to you by Westgate Luxury Condominiums. If you're listening on radio, hey, man, thank you so much. Whether you're in North Alabama or you're in Tuscaloosa and Birmingham, roll tide, everybody. In the comments section, Jersey Dolphins and Jarvis and all you guys, man, love you. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate looking on there and knowing that you guys are part of everything that we're doing. Let me tell you about Cat Head right here. I got the Cat Head Sparkling. These are just really great for your tailgate party. It's the first legal distillery in the state of Mississippi. They're founded in 2010 by friends and fellow Alabama grads, Austin Evans and Richard Patrick, and they were to create small batch spirits that give the taste of the South in every sip. Best known for its flagship Cat Head Vodka, Cat Head Distillery produces 5 award-winning brands, including Bristow Gin, Hoodoo Chicory Liqueur, Old Soul Bourbon Whiskey, and these right here, the Cat Head Sparkling Canned Cocktails. And when Clint gets here, one of these is going his way. Find out for yourself, though, for your next tailgate or party at catheaddistillery.com. All right, let's talk about this matchup as we wait for Clint Lamb to join us here momentarily from Trotter's Whole Hog. Oh, there he is. I see him walking in right now. At Trotter's Whole Hog here in Sevierville, our show presented by visitsevierville.com. You talk about this guy from Sevierville. What a day it's been for him, and it has only started. This is a crazy game day. But there he is, and we're going to feed this man. But before we feed you, Clint, we got to talk some football. Good to see you, brother.
It's great to see you, man. How you doing?
Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard, man.
I had like a ton of nostalgia coming through there, man. 3 years
Welcome
of my
home.
life.
Welcome home to Sevierville.
Yeah, it not the first place I lived, but man, struggling with this whole.
Oh, we'll get you fixed. Just let's talk about Saban and UT. How's he dominated him so much?
I mean, recruiting, talent level, consistency in performance, really all the talking points. And to be fair to Tennessee, Nick Saban's done it to a lot of other programs too. It's just, Tennessee's a rival. Auburn, it's another rival who's found a way to win at times against Alabama. So in comparison, obviously they haven't done that great, but it's a very different rivalry than the Iron Bowl for sure.
Let me turn that off. And I'm gonna look. All we got to do is get through this segment, and I'm gonna get you hooked up with. Look over at Trotter's menu.
I was.
You smell that?
I was smelling it. Yeah.
You like barbecue?
I was wondering if I could somehow get away with just like giving you a wave, walking by you.
No, you got to talk Bama football, and everybody in the message board, Mike Coleman and Tim and Chad and everybody else that's hanging out with us. 400 plus comments on the show right now. They're not going to just let you walk by. You got to earn your supper here, right?
Yeah.
All right. Can Alabama slow down Hendon Hooker? Tell the audience why they can or can't.
I think that they can make life difficult. The problem is in today's college football, there's no such thing as completely stopping an elite offense. I just, unless an injury happens or something like that, I don't think, holding them to 10, 14, 17 points, even 20, I think is kind of difficult. The big thing that you got to do is you got to limit the success, limit the explosive plays. When you need stops, key stops, you get those, and you make life difficult, and you try to create some turnovers. And that's been a huge issue for Alabama, this year. Is Hendon Hooker has been so, safe with the football, and he's not turning the football over. And then you've got Alabama's defense, which is, struggled to generate turnovers. So I think that you've got to figure out a way to get him uncomfortable. And even if it's just one, take advantage of the situation. But I do think that they need to try to do what they can to give their offense a favorable field position. They've gotten that from the punt return game, at various points. But now I think teams are going to kind of stop kicking or punting to Kool-Aid McKinstry. Now your defense has got to do some things and generate some turnovers and help you out that way.
We're looking over Bryce Young. We're not sure what his status is going to be for today's game. I think he's going to play. I think he's going to be all right, but maybe I'm in the minority. I mean, you talked about it before. There's other guys that are taking the snaps right now and throwing the football, and it's not him.
Yeah, and it's such a difficult situation to evaluate because, how much of it is, I think Nick Saban is trying to, mask it one way or the other, whether he's, not going to be able to play and they want Tennessee to think that he is,
right.
Or vice versa, and, which I'm on board with you. I think he's going to play as well based off things that I've heard. But at the same time, that's not a guarantee. And I think that, even if Bryce does end up playing, you've got to have Jalen Milroe and or, Ty Simpson ready to step in if they need to. So I think that from that perspective, it's very hard to evaluate Alabama's offense because the game plans look so different
week to week.
Yeah, and just with those two quarterbacks, I mean, you build an entirely different game plan with Jalen Milroe as your starter, or even Ty Simpson being a freshman. You're going to limit what you ask him to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a lot more simplified, if I had to guess, if he had to play. So it is very difficult to figure out. But at the same time, though, I do think that regardless of who ends up playing quarterback, any of the three, and that might be a bold statement to make, but I think that any of the three could still put up some points on Tennessee, not to the degree that a Bryce Young-led offense would,
right?
Obviously, but I think enough to, at least keep the game close and or win the football game, regardless of if it's Milroe or, Simpson, which I would assume probably Milroe would play a majority of the snaps in that scenario. But
right.
We'll see. Bryce's health. What's interesting is that everybody said that Bryce was a product of the talent around him last year when he won the Heisman. Now he's not available, and everybody's completely counting out Alabama, without him. So quite the turnaround there.
Yeah, one bad week by Milroe, and all of a sudden now, I mean, we've decided that he can't play football anymore.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much say, hey, without Bryce, I don't think Alabama can win big games. Well, that kind of tells me maybe he was deserving of that Heisman he won last year.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, look, Alabama and Tennessee. What's it feel like to be back in Sevierville?
It's amazing. Yeah, I was pretty slow driving through. Like I'd gone like 95. I'm not supposed to say that on right here.
No, no one cares.
Very safe, lawful speed.
Yeah, right.
Until I hit. What is this parkway out here?
Let's just call it Dolly Parton Parkway.
Are you
66? I think it's 66.
It is 66.
But let's just call it Dolly Parton Parkway because even though it's not, it just sounds good.
Yeah, man. My parents worked. Granted, it was in Kodak, so it was a pretty good ways away. We lived in Sevierville, and they worked in Kodak, and so made that drive a lot of times. Or I didn't make the drive myself. It was actually the first time I've ever driven it myself, but rode that ride a lot of times. So coming through, man, they still got that moccasin building.
Oh,
and and all the stuff.
Well,
it was
welcome
very
back.
Cool.
But this part of town's a lot different.
Oh, it's just I've never seen it. Now, granted, what is this? Is that a courthouse outside?
Yeah, the courthouse,
man,
the police station.
I had to take a picture of it and send it to my parents. I'm like, it's still going strong. We had a beautiful backyard that when it was the fall and the leaves would fall off the trees, you could see the top of that Capitol. So yeah, this is definitely the old stomping grounds. I just haven't been. I mean, I guess it's been probably 15 years. I came as an older teenager. I want to say that the last time we were here, I was like a sophomore in college. But it's been a while, man, and it's pretty cool being back.
Yeah, well, it's great having you back and fun talking today about Alabama. Hey, guys, let me tell you about OWA. We're giving away 2 tickets to OWA. It's in Foley, Alabama, about 7 miles from the beach where we do our some of our road game shows right there at the Floor Band.
In downtown OWA, what you want is always on the menu. From wine and charcuterie to family-style meals and moonshine tasting. Dine in or outside overlooking the lake. Your table's waiting in downtown OWA.
20 theme park rides, from signature roller coasters to all kind of tropical paradise, indoor water park rides and all that stuff. Look, visit OWA.com. They've got just an amazing plethora of activity there. We're giving away 2 tickets to OWA theme park here in Sevierville, and then you'll take them down when you come to Tuscaloosa and swing by OWA. All right, guys, look, we're gonna pick some gambling, some games, right? We're gonna start gambling, but we're gonna pick the odds, and Clint's gonna jump off, and he's gonna get something to eat, and then you're gonna be fed, and then we're gonna bring Eric Kane on from VolQuest to talk about this matchup with the 3 of us. Hopefully we'll have some food by then. You'll feel better.
Hey,
right?
I'm looking forward to it, man. Now we're here. It's time for the good stuff.
All right. We'll be right back. More Bama Insider Tailgate Show after this.
This isn't just a beer. It's a lager. A medium-bodied, amber-colored, one-of-a-kind beer. Made from those bold enough to brew it, for those bold enough to drink it. Elevate your taste. Yingling Traditional Lager. Spread your wings.
In some places, football is a sport. In Alabama, football is fine art. Now at newlifeart.com, see Daniel A. Moore's new 2021 Crimson and White Fine Art Calendar, featuring 13 dynamic images of defining moments from the Saban era. As a special offer to listeners of this show, use coupon code ROLLTIDE for $5 off each calendar. To order yours, call 1-800-735-2787 or visit newlifeart.com today.
Tuscaloosa is Alabama's ultimate sports destination and a place for outdoor enthusiasts to thrive. It's a community rooted in history and one that's on the cusp of a burgeoning art scene too. Tuscaloosa is vibrant, it's charming, and it's familiar. Its people welcome you with open arms and warm hellos into a community that's tied together. Tuscaloosa is our home.
Touchdown! Hey guys, look at me. Now look at yourselves. I make the big plays and the big games. You don't. Yeah, you would have made All-State if Coach put you in. Keep telling that story, or you can actually play the game. The sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino puts you in the starting lineup. I'll still be making the plays, you'll be making the bets, and finally getting the sports glory you deserve. The sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. Play the game.
Nothing compares to being at the game in person, but the next best thing has to be Floribama's Old River Grill. There's over 40 TVs, a game day atmosphere, your favorite drinks, and a football menu that will blow you away. Santa Fe egg rolls, traditional jumbo chicken wings, grilled cheese and chili cheese dogs, and you've got to try our tender pork shank served with a tropical habanero sauce. We call them Island Pig Wings. Floribama's Old River Grill, the perfect game day when you can't be there in person. Floribama's.
Looking for something one of a kind? Shop downtown Owa, where you'll find everything from handcrafted local favorites to national brands. High-end chocolates, Native American-inspired gifts. You'll find it in downtown Owa. In downtown Owa, what you want is always on the menu. From wine and charcuterie to family-style meals and moonshine tastings. Dine in or outside overlooking the lake. Your table's waiting in downtown Owa.
Barry Buckner for Genesis of Tuscaloosa. You've heard it said, affordable luxury. But when it comes to affordable service, every new Genesis we sell comes with 3-year, 36,000-mile complimentary service. If you want to pay more, that's your business. If you want to save, that's our business. GenesisofTuscaloosa.com.
Ownership limitations may apply. See your retailer for details. Genesis reserves the right to change program without notice. Exclusions may apply.
Do you consider yourself a black sheep, misfit, or screwball? If so, we've got the perfect drink for you. Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey. Screwball combines two of America's favorite, peanut butter and whiskey. Enjoy it neat, on the rocks, or in your favorite cocktail. Screwball, the original most awarded peanut butter whiskey, is now available near you. Go to screwballwhiskey.com for more information. Enjoy responsibly.
Advertisement by Screwball Spirits, LLC, San Diego, California. Whiskey with natural flavors, 35% alcohol by volume.
Welcome back to the Bama Insider Tailgate Show. It is always great to have you guys, reminding you that the show is brought to you by Yuengling Lager, America's oldest brewery, and Pearl River Resort, playing the odds this segment with Pearl River Resort. Reagan from R&R Cigar, his busiest time of the year, and special guest George Yardley, who's with Leonard's Loser. But before we do that, let me remind you guys that when you're in the market, you feel like you want to go out and try Vegas-style gambling, the place that you need to do it, the sports book over at the Timeout Lounge in Philadelphia, Mississippi.
Touchdown! Hey guys, look at me. Now look at yourselves. I make the big plays and the big games. You don't. Yeah, you would have made All-State if Coach put you in. Keep telling that story, or you can actually play the game. The sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino puts you in the starting lineup. I'll still be making the plays, you'll be making the bets, and finally getting the sports glory you deserve. The sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. Play the game.
All right, let's play the game, everybody. And it's great to have George Yardley on, Reagan from R&R Cigars, as we go through our games. And we're gonna talk a few games here today, and then I want to hear all about what's going on at the Cigar Mansion. But Let's start with NC State at Syracuse, 3.5-point difference. Syracuse, Reagan, I'll start with you first. They've been a surprise team this year. NC State, the Wolfpack, they needed that big win against Florida State. They got the big win. That Florida State game was a pretty good game to watch. Both teams ranked right now. Who you taking?
I take Syracuse just because they're at home. I like Dino Babers. Might be the only orange team I picked this weekend.
I like where you're going. Now, George isn't the Tennessee guy, but longtime public address announcer with the Tennessee Smokies. George has been one of my best friends for years, and you do a great job with Leonard's Loser. We played it on this show for a long time, and then you got too big for us. You went statewide in Alabama, but you're here today. So give me some Leonard's Loser with this NC State-Syracuse game.
NC State and Syracuse. That's where we are.
That's right. Give me something here.
Well, let's see. NC State versus Syracuse. The Wolfpack heads to the Carrier Dome for this ACC matchup between these two rivals. State quarterback Devin Leary suffered a shoulder injury last week, and his status is undetermined. This one is a sellout, giving Audubly Orange the home field advantage, but not so fast, my friends. The Wolf Puppies are howling and won't be intimidated by the Orange. Leonard's Loser, Syracuse.
Oh, okay. And look, I'm going with Reagan on this one. Syracuse may be the only Orange team I take as well this week. I like that. All right, let's throw up our second game as you guys hang out with us on the Bama Insider Tailgate Show. There it is. This one is one I can't wait to watch. Oklahoma State, they wear orange at TCU. Both of these teams are undefeated. Whoever wins is going to be the favorite for the Big 12. George Yardley, I'll start with you.
Oklahoma State versus TCU. These two undefeated Big 12 rivals rumble in Fort Worth Saturday afternoon on ABC. These two have been flying a little under the radar, but both have signature wins. The winner here takes the driver's seat in the conference. Rumor has it Pistol Pete has traded his 6 shooters for 2 frog gigs and a flashlight. Leonard's Loser in a close one, TCU.
Oh, wow. All right, Reagan, you're up.
Pew, 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 pew.
So you're going with Oklahoma State after saying you weren't taking any more orange teams.
Back-to-back orange. Back-to-back orange.
I'm taking Oklahoma State too. Look, I think this is going to be a really good game. You guys know I'm going to be future Morgan Wallen for Halloween, so I'm growing out my mullet right now. I can't bet against the guy that coaches with a mullet. So I'm going with Oklahoma State. All right, next game. Oh, there she is. Neyland Stadium, 2:30, Alabama and Tennessee. The Tide are ranked 3rd, and the Volunteers are ranked 6th. George Yardley, you start us off.
Alabama versus Tennessee. It's the 3rd Saturday in October, and these two undefeateds face off in the premier slobber knocker of the week. Tide quarterback and Heisman Trophy owner Bryce Young did not play last week due to a shoulder injury, and his performance at Neyland Stadium Saturday is sorely needed by Saban's Pachyderms. The Vol Navy started docking Wednesday. There will be over 100,000 fans squeezed in those not-for-fuller figure seats, and tickets will be harder to find than Mickey Mantle rookie cards. This is the biggest event happening in Knoxville since the 1982 World's Fair. This one has Smokey singing that Blondie classic, "The Tide is High, but I'm holding on. I'm going to be your number one." Leonard's Loser in an upset, Alabama.
All right, Reagan, you heard it. He said George Yardley says Leonard's Losers, Alabama. That means he just took Tennessee.
Well, it's called Leonard's Losers for a reason. And I think Leonard's a loser on Saturday when Alabama beats Tennessee for the 16th straight time. And Alabama fans are lighting up in Neyland Stadium with R&R Victory cigars, the official cigar of the Alabama-Tennessee game. And Alabama's going to beat Tennessee. We're smoking cigars. And Vols fans are probably turning into Karens trying to get the Neyland PD, Tennessee PD to get them to stop smoking cigars. So Sorry, Leonard.
Look, here's what I think. I think this is going to be one of those games where Tennessee's dealing with something that Alabama deals with a lot, and that's rat poison. How many times has Nick Saban said, don't read your press clippings? And Tennessee's a really good football team, and they come in with more momentum and more confidence than I've ever seen in this rivalry. And look, they're going to be at Neyland Stadium in force. But the problem is that they're taking on an Alabama team that's played in many, many, many of these big games. I think Tennessee will score some points, but I think Alabama will score more. I could see this score being something like 55-31 Alabama. They cover the spread. I'm actually taking Alabama and putting some of my own money on this game. I feel very confident in the Crimson Tide. And part of this is if Tennessee wins this football game, it really changes the makeup of SEC football.
No, it doesn't. No.
If Tennessee wins, all of a sudden the Mississippi schools are in position to play in the SEC championship game, and it would be Tennessee and Georgia for the championship in the East and in Atlanta. You don't see it that way?
I mean, I've seen Alabama lose a game. You know, it's not the earth-shattering thing that happens. You know, Ole Miss and Mississippi State still have to play. They still have to play each other. They still have to play Alabama. They still have to play other schools. So I don't think it's the world-shattering thing that everybody wants to make it out to be. Everybody just wants to see Alabama lose because it doesn't happen very often. So I don't see it that way. And plus, I've seen a lot of teams come in with a big swagger like, hey, we've beaten up on all of these unranked teams. We won in overtime versus Pittsburgh. And they come into the Alabama game and they get mollywopped by Nick Saban. And, you know, the moment was too big for them. And it's happened to Tennessee plenty of times. You know, it's happened to Texas A&M. I remember, 19 A&M was here and had a big deal, or 2020, beat them 55-7 or something like that.
55-0.
Yeah, okay.
But George, do you think that Tennessee is ready to win this game? I mean, I know you just picked them with Leonard's loser.
Well, this is one way I look at it. The losing streak to Alabama has got to end at some point.
Right.
Maybe in my lifetime, I hope. But anyway, I look at that, and and I take a look at the couple of close games that Alabama has had. And I just think the stage might be set. Alabama probably has a better team. I wouldn't deny that. But is Bryce Young going to play? That's pivotal in this game.
Right.
If he's out there, yeah.
Reagan, let's talk about what you got going on at R&R Cigar. You have been absolutely wall to wall all week getting ready for today's game.
Yeah, it started at 8 a.m. today with an interview with Good Day Alabama on Fox 6. We've done nonstop R&R Cigar Media World Tour all week long. We're set up with the Victory cigars. We got the Casa de las Estrellas, the official Victory cigar of the Alabama-Tennessee game. You can only get it here. It's a big weekend. Tomorrow we got Alabama, and then after the Alabama game's over, we go right into the Deontay Wilder fight. We got Deontay's first fight since, his first fight since Fury a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
So been waiting for that, and really excited to watch Deontay hopefully win. But yeah, it's a big weekend, selling a ton of cigars. Lots of people have been coming in all day, every day. I'd like to give a special shout out to all the other places in Tuscaloosa, the little places around town, the gas stations and the like, that get a big boost from all of our hard work this weekend. You're very welcome for that. And,
if you don't say so yourself,
you're very welcome. There's three people that are instrumental in the Alabama-Tennessee cigar rivalry.
Tell us who they are.
I'm about to. Don't worry. It's Bear Bryant and Jim Goosetree, and then Reagan Starner, America's favorite bar owner. Those are the three most important people in this rivalry.
What about Saban? He's not in there.
He helped. He'd be number 4.
Tell us about the Victory cigar. Just give us like a breakdown of the blend and kind of how you came up with this Victory cigar that if Alabama wins today, they'll be smoking.
Yeah, it's a blend that I made to honor my family. It's it's a Sumatra, light Sumatra wrapper, so it's going to have a nice sweet smoke. It's got Nicaraguan, Honduran, and Costa Rican tobacco in it, and it's really good. It's really good for just an everyday smoke. It's not gonna knock you over. If you're smoking the Victory cigars and you feel bad, okay, if you start feeling, like, oh, I got a little nicotine buzz, this is what you need to do. Get a Coke, not cocaine, get a Coke, like a Coca-Cola, okay? It's 2022. People get confused when they say grab some Coke. So get a Coca-Cola or some type of chocolate, something high sugar, and that'll cut down your little buzz that you got going. So if you start feeling a little sick, just grab a Coca-Cola or a soft drink with sugar, not the diets. Unfortunately, Diet Coke doesn't work. I love Diet Coke, but that'll get you right as rain. So, yeah.
All right, look, for those that are listening on radio today and maybe they don't have their Victory cigar yet, but Alabama wins the game, how late are you going to be open? Can they smoke their Victory cigar and come in and get it on Sunday or next week?
Yeah.
Are they still available for the officials?
Yeah, we're open till 1 a.m. On Saturday today. We'll be here till 1 a.m. This show will not be showing at 9 a.m., but we're open at 9 a.m. And 9 a.m. to 1 a.m. Bama's at 2:30 Central. The Wilder fight's at 9 o'clock Central. So, yeah, you got plenty of time to get your cigar today.
All right. George Yardley, tell us about Leonard's Loser. Give us where can people find you on the web?
Oh, the website is theleonardslosers.com. And the show is usually up by Wednesday of each week, Thursday at the latest. And they can go in there and enjoy it. It's listed week by week. If you care to go back and listen to some weeks prior, that's great. I'd love to have your support. I'm trying to get this thing started after Leonard had a great run from 1958 until 1994. He was over 130 stations when he retired in 94.
Well, great to have you. Great to have Reagan. And great to have all you guys that are hanging out with us. Let me remind you, too, that when we're on the road, or at least Bama is, and we're not here in Tennessee, we're at the Floor Bama. We're at the Floor Bama right there on the line with live music on 3 stages daily. It opens at 11 a.m., closes at 3 a.m., free bingo Monday through Friday, 1 to 4. Come get your bushwhackers, ton of TVs to watch football. So if you're down on the coast, make sure you swing by the Floor Bama. I love seeing that smoke, Reagan. You're making me jealous. Everyone go to R&R Cigar. Get your Victory cigars as Alabama and Tennessee play at 2:30. Clint Lamb and I are going to break down this matchup when we come back here in Sevierville. Don't go anywhere. More Bama Insider Tailgate Show coming up.
Unique on the Strip. It's the best place to watch sports.
You're not even kidding. 11 TVs, NFL and MLB package, NHL, EPL, and so much more. If you want a game, they have it.
Now they're doing weekly NFL Pick'em, winners every Sunday, and grand prizes on Super Bowl Sunday.
And we haven't even mentioned the drink specials.
Of course they have daily drink specials. You can see them on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Unique T-Town every day.
Unique on the Strip. The best place to watch sports in Tuscaloosa.
Hi, Barry Buckner for Tuscaloosa Hyundai. Every Tuscaloosa Hyundai is value priced, and Tuscaloosa Hyundai doesn't add the side sticker. Side stickers mean you pay thousands more. Everything is value priced at Tuscaloosa Hyundai. No additional dealer markups. It's just that simple. So if you're tired of getting stuck with side stickers, no additional markup is why you come to Tuscaloosa Hyundai, corner of Skyline and Hargrove.
R&R Cigars invites you to the Cigar Mansion in downtown Tuscaloosa, or the newest location in Northport in the Winn-Dixie Shopping Center. Now 2 awesome locations serving Tuscaloosa and Northport. The best cigar selection and bourbon in the Southeast awaits you. R&R Cigar is your home for all sports. Outsource your man cave to R&R. Get a cigar in Yingling for $10 when you tell them Mick sent you. 2703 6th Street, downtown Tuscaloosa, near Home 2 Suites, or Northport, next to Winn-Dixie.
Cathead, the first legal distillery in the state of Mississippi. Founded in 2010 by friends and fellow Alabama grads Austin Evans and Richard Patrick to create small batch spirits that give the taste of the South with every sip. Best known for its flagship Cathead Vodka, Cathead Distillery produces 5 award-winning brands. Find out for yourself and pick some up for your next party or tailgate. CatheadDistillery.com.
Barry Buckner for Genesis of Tuscaloosa. You've heard it said, affordable luxury. But when it comes to affordable service, every new Genesis we sell comes with 3-year, 36,000-mile complimentary service. If you want to pay more, that's your business. If you want to save, that's our business. GenesisofTuscaloosa.com.
Ownership limitations may apply. See your retailer for details. Genesis reserves the right to change program without notice. Exclusions may apply.
Looking for something one of a kind? Shop downtown Owa, where you'll find everything from handcrafted local favorites to national brands. High-end chocolates, Native American-inspired gifts. You'll find it in downtown Owa. In downtown Owa, what you want is always on the menu. From wine and charcuterie to family-style meals and moonshine tastings. Dine in or outside overlooking the lake. Your table's waiting in downtown Owa.
Do you consider yourself a black sheep, misfit, or screwball? If so, we've got the perfect drink for you. Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey. Screwball combines 2 of America's favorite, peanut butter and whiskey. Enjoy it neat, on the rocks, or in your favorite cocktail. Screwball, the original most awarded peanut butter whiskey, is now available near you. Go to screwballwhiskey.com for more information. Enjoy responsibly.
Advertisement by Screwball Spirits LLC, San Diego, California. Whiskey with natural flavors, 35% alcohol by volume.
Autumn brings vivid colors to the back roads and hollows of Sevierville, Tennessee. Wind your way to quaint country churches, a historic covered bridge, and even a pick-your-own apple orchard. This fall, the best views are yours on Sevierville's Rocky Flats Fall Driving Tour. Learn more and find additional fall drives to enjoy at visitsevierville.com/fall.
Welcome back to the Bama Insider Tailgate Show as I hang out here with Clint Lamb, and there he is, Eric Kane. Look, before I got to pay some bills here. The show's brought to you by Yingling Lager. That's a 6th-generation company providing you, Eric, and everyone here in Tennessee with a great beer in a green bottle. And they actually have the Hershey's Porter here at Trotter's Whole Hog in Sevierville. But what's up, dude? Look at I see you're on the scene right now.
Yeah, I'm out here, a little Tennessee fall ball. So came over here, caught about 5 innings. Just seeing what the team will look like come spring. Hey, there's a big football game tomorrow, but there's some baseball here tonight on the front.
Well, look, meet Clint. Let's talk about this Tennessee team. As you know, Alabama gets set to take on Tennessee. That's a 2:30 Central Time game. Number 3 against number 6. When you break this matchup down, looking at the Vols, what are the things that you feel confident about with this team, and then what are the things that you worry about?
Well, you know, it's hard to feel confident about the quarterback. Right. Passing. Really, and you know, Alabama walk up front.
Okay, Kaner, man, we're hearing like every other word that you say. I think we got a bad sell on you. Look, brother, great to see you. You look awesome.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, man. Thanks for coming on though and hanging out. Try it one more time, and if we can't get you, we're just gonna have to bump out.
I got it. Yeah, I feel good about Hendon Hooker, this quarterback for the season. I like the ability to throw the football down the field. If he can consistently get one-on-one talks up front with Will Anderson, Dallas Turner, and all that, stuff like that. So, we'll see the Alabama defense against this Hendon Hooker-led Tennessee passing attack. That's kind of what I'm looking out for tomorrow night.
Yeah, look, brother, it's hard to hear you, but Eric Kane with VolQuest, this is one of the up-and-coming rising stars in the business. And I'm not just saying that because you're part of On 3. I'm telling you, man. Guy played linebacker at Carson Newman here locally. Clint grew up, spent some time as a youth here in Sevierville. And one thing we can all agree on, wings. We're eating wings at Trotters right now. So, Kaner, we're gonna let you go just because it's hard to hear you, but great to see your face, brother. Thank you.
Sorry about that, guys. Thanks so much.
No problem, man. All right, look, let's get into this. Let's talk about it. Like bad reception. I mean, that happens sometimes. But this matchup between Alabama, he says Hendon Hooker, that's the thing that makes him comfortable.
Yeah, and, throwing the football down the field, something that Tennessee has done extremely well. And you got to understand, granted, sometimes it's a quarterback having a dynamic performance. It's not a dynamic quarterback, it's a dynamic performance. Like a Zach Calzada or a Steven Garcia or someone like that. For Tennessee, it's a dynamic quarterback. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the country. And when you look at times that Alabama struggled, they struggled against dual threat guys. So having the ability to push the ball vertically, having the ability to extend plays with your legs and create with your legs, that's certainly going to put a strain on Alabama's defense. But, I do think that it's going to be very interesting to watch, how does he perform? Because I do think at times he's been put under pressure.
Right.
It just hadn't been really consistently. But at the same time, the offensive line of him just getting the ball out quick, that's been a huge part of has been able to prevent him from really being under pressure consistently throughout games. I'll be curious to see if Alabama's pass rush can make him uncomfortable. And if they can, do they have the guys who can take advantage of it?
Hanging out with us on the Bama Insider Tailgate Show, talking to you live from Sevierville, Tennessee, here at Trotter's Whole Hog Barbecue. And Clint, I mean, just show your plate of food right there. I don't want anyone to reach over and take it, but it was worth the trip right there, wasn't it?
I'll tell you what, if I would have known that this was going to be what was going to be waiting on me, you absolutely wouldn't have got me on that first segment. I would have walked right by you.
You would have just gone to the bar. All right, well, let me ask you this. What are you expecting in today's game?
I'm expecting a good game. And, it's hard to try to, predict, the outcome, right? Because there's so many unknown factors. But what we do know is that, Tennessee, even though Cedric Tillman might not play, probably won't play, I don't guess, is where it's trending. They have the ability with Brew McCoy and Jalen Hyatt and a lot of those guys, they can still throw the football. Got a great run game. And, I'm not just talking about Hendon Hooker. They got two really good running backs.
Yeah, Jabari Smalls, good
and Wright as well. I mean, Smalls and Wright, two very good running backs. And, I'll be curious to see how Alabama tries to combat, the tempo. Because one of the things that helped make Alabama's defense so effective last week in obvious passing situations was, being able to get that cheetah package out there. And granted, obviously when you're going to want to utilize it, if it's third and long, more than likely Tennessee's not going to be running tempo because you failed on first and second down. Typically, you like to use tempo after a successful play. But I also think that it's possible that if, they catch Alabama's defense in that cheetah package, they might end up going hurry up, after getting a first down or something to try to, force them to leave that on the field. So I'll be curious to see how it all ends up working out. Between, Alabama's defense and Tennessee's offense. The other side of the football is really the big question mark. I still don't think we know exactly how good Tennessee is defensively. Mm-hmm. Secondary has obviously been exploited a couple of times.
Right.
I think the defensive front is really good, but I think Alabama's offensive line has improved. So, we'll kind of have to wait and see. But that's the side of the football. A lot of people were talking about the exciting matchups with Tennessee's offense against Alabama's defense. I think the more important, deciding factor is Alabama's offense against Tennessee's defense.
Does it feel like Alabama's the favorite?
Somebody didn't watch Paul Finebaum today. No, it didn't. I didn't either. And my dad called me and said it's definitely leaning towards a lot of, people are very pro Tennessee. And I've kind of got that vibe all week. I mean, right after the game, against Texas A&M, there were already people on Sunday predicting the upset. So it's, you just don't get this very often with Alabama. And I think that's what makes it exciting, right? I mean, the SEC championship is as stressful as it was, last year for a lot of Alabama fans. The fact that you were going into a game really not sure if Alabama was going to be able to win, pretty much every other program in the country at least has that a couple of times a year. In Alabama, you typically feel pretty confident in them. So it's going to be fun.
All right, penalties, turnovers this year have kind of marred Alabama. Is there cracks in the dynasty?
Cracks in the dynasty.
They haven't lost, but Well,
I will say that there's certain things that Alabama used to do. You don't see, and granted, it's the style of football that you see in today's college football, but you don't see them really impose their will on people anymore. It was like they would step on the field against somebody, and by the end of the first quarter, not only did you completely wreck, that opposing team for the rest of that game, you're gonna have lingering effects for several weeks. We haven't really seen that in several years. I would probably say the last one that we really saw was Florida State in 2017. But so they don't really do that as much anymore. They don't, used to be able to go on the road and really dominate opponents. Really don't see that as much anymore, even though you still see it from time to time. They have these road struggles. It's just things that maybe, they didn't have trouble with early in the quote unquote dynasty that maybe is starting to creep up now. Would you consider that, a concern as far as the dynasty and kind of where it stands? I think an argument could be made for that, but I still think that Alabama's going strong. And in today's college football, and just, as long as Nick Saban's there, they're going to be competitive and be one of the top programs in the country. I just don't necessarily think that it's just automatic Alabama's, way up there and then seconds, a distant second. So it's a little bit different than it's been in the past.
All right, last question before we go to our final segment. If Tennessee wins, will they burn Knoxville down?
I've been saying it all week. No, you got to think 15 years. Imagine if you're an Alabama fan, which we got a lot more Alabama fans watching this probably than Tennessee.
Right.
But just imagine going 15 years without beating somebody. And it's just you play them every year, and that's pretty much getting chalked up as a loss. And you get to hear trash talk and go in one way for a decade and a half. And then, you end up winning, and now all of it's flowing in the opposite direction. I don't know about you, but I can't really definitively say how I'd handle it. But, somebody said, hey, here's a match, or a lighter.
Let's go.
So, yeah, I might be having some fun.
When the Cubs finally won the World Series, they did not burn down Chicago. So
I think Knoxville will be here on Sunday.
I think Knoxville, one way or the other, will be here. R&R Cigars invites you to come downtown to the Cigar Mansion. That's in Tuscaloosa, the newest location in Northport. 2 locations serving Tuscaloosa and Northport. Best cigar selection and bourbon selection in the Southeast awaits you. R&R Cigars, your home for all sports. Outsource your man cave to R&R, 2703 6th Street, downtown near Homes to Suite. TheCigarMansion.com. Get your Victory cigars there, which we have some Victory cigars being sent to us right now. We'll have them tomorrow. And the Deontay Wilder fight. After the game, there'll be after the game today, you can watch Deontay Wilder fight at Reagan's Cigar Mansion. So check it out for yourself there in Tuscaloosa. All right, we're going to pick the game when we come back. Don't forget, afterwards, Jay Barker and I will be on for the post-game show. Jay and I get together every Tuesday and Thursday for Crimson Tide headlines. That's always on the Bama Insider YouTube channel. Final segment of the Bama Insider Tailgate Show right after this.
This isn't just a beer. It's a lager. A medium-bodied, amber-colored, one-of-a-kind beer. Made from those bold enough to brew it, for those bold enough to drink it. Elevate your taste. Yingling Traditional Lager. Spread your wings.
Unique on the Strip. It's the best place to watch sports.
You're not even kidding. 11 TVs, NFL and MLB package, NHL, EPL, and so much more. If you want a game, they have it.
Now they're doing weekly NFL Pick'em, winners every Sunday, and grand prizes on Super Bowl Sunday.
And we haven't even mentioned the drink specials.
Of course they have daily drink specials. You can see them on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Unique T-Town every day.
Unique on the Strip. The best place to watch sports in Tuscaloosa.
Hi, Barry Buckner for Tuscaloosa Hyundai. Every Tuscaloosa Hyundai is value priced, and Tuscaloosa Hyundai doesn't add the side sticker. Side stickers mean you pay thousands more. Everything is value priced at Tuscaloosa Hyundai. No additional dealer markups. It's just that simple. So if you're tired of getting stuck with side stickers, no additional markup is why you come to Tuscaloosa Hyundai, corner of Skyline and Hargrove.
In some places, football is a sport. In Alabama, football is fine art. Now at newlifeart.com, see Daniel A. Moore's new 2021 Crimson and White Fine Art Calendar, featuring 13 dynamic images of defining moments from the Saban era. As a special offer to listeners of this show, use coupon code ROLLTIDE for $5 off each calendar. To order yours, call 1-800-735-2787 or visit newlifeart.com today.
Autumn brings vivid colors to the back roads and hollows of Sevierville, Tennessee. Wind your way to quaint country churches, a historic covered bridge, and even a pick-your-own apple orchard. This fall, the best views are yours on Sevierville's Rocky Flats Fall Driving Tour. Learn more and find additional fall drives to enjoy at visitsevierville.com/fall.
Nothing compares to being at the game in person, but the next best thing has to be Floribama's Old River Grill. There's over 40 TVs, a game day atmosphere, your favorite drinks, and a football menu that will blow you away. Santa Fe egg rolls, traditional jumbo chicken wings, grilled cheese and chili cheese dogs, and you've got to try our tender pork shank served with a tropical habanero sauce. We call them Island Pig Wings. Floribama's Old River Grill, the perfect game day when you can't be there in person. Floribama's Old River Grill, across the street from the world-famous Floribama.
Barry Buckner for Genesis of Tuscaloosa. You heard it said, affordable luxury. But when it comes to affordable service, every new Genesis we sell comes with 3-year, 36,000-mile complimentary service. If you want to pay more, that's your business. If you want to save, that's our business. GenesisofTuscaloosa.com.
Ownership limitations may apply. See your retailer for details. Genesis reserves the right to change program without notice. Exclusions may apply.
Touchdown! Hey guys, look at me. Now look at yourselves. I make the big plays and the big games. You don't. Yeah, you would have made All-State if Coach put you in. Keep telling that story, or you can actually play the game. The sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino puts you in the starting lineup. I'll still be making the plays. You'll be making the bets. And finally getting the sports glory you deserve. The sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. Play the game.
All right, sorry, we're still eating wings over here. Final segment of the
for nothing.
Yeah, right. Final segment of the Bama Insider Tailgate Show from Trotter's Whole Hog here in Sevierville. Look, this is a wing right here, and this is their wing sauce. It's modeled after an Alabama sauce, but they made it an orange sauce because obviously they're Vols here. Do you know that?
I did not know
It's
that.
orange barbecue sauce instead of white because of this football game. And that's why this football game today is so significant. Show's brought to you by Yuengling Lager. If you're going to your tailgate today, you're having a party at your house, make sure you pick up some Yuenglings. Our show's always been brought to you by Yuengling. Cheryl Yuengling, our buddy, went to Alabama, 6th generation American-owned company, and she puts a little crimson love in each one of those green bottles. She's actually at the game today. So leave here, go hang out. We're going to go hang out with her. Ready?
Yeah, I'm
All right.
absolutely ready.
All right, well, let's talk about this matchup. Alabama and Tennessee, final thoughts before you give your score prediction.
It's I normally don't have problems with score predictions and, bold predictions and all that stuff. It's like I said, it's so difficult to pick this game just because there's so many unknown factors. But at the same time, I've evaluated it from every angle, right? I mean, really the one that I probably need to take into more consideration based off of recent developments would maybe be, a heavily used Ty Simpson, even though, we'd have to wait and see how that played out. But with Milroe or with Bryce Young, I think there's, and granted, a large percentage of how I feel about Milroe, if he were to have to start, would be, based off of not having a repeat performance of last week. And it's not, you don't have to go out there and make a ton of plays necessarily. I think there's a lot more pressure on you to make plays this week than there was last week.
Right.
But at the same time, I think with Alabama's defense, if they can, do some things to make Tennessee's offense uncomfortable, limit some of their successes, especially the explosive plays downfield. You can't allow too many of those. And Alabama's been pretty good about that at times, but you've also seen them give up some chunk yardage as well. But I think, in the end, whether it's Bryce or with Milroe, I would probably say, I'm picking Alabama either way, even though I do think there's going to be a kind of a battle throughout. Now, if Bryce plays, and I could probably tell you a lot more about one drive, 2 drives in, just based off of how he looks, I would actually think that Alabama could win this by more than double digits. But at the same time, just the assumption that he's probably not going to be 100% even if he plays, I'll probably go ahead and say that it ends up being, around – 9 or 10 points. And then with Milroe, I could see it maybe being a little bit less than that, 6 or, 4-3, something like that.
Had a Tennessee fan tell me today that today is the beginning of the end of Nick Saban.
I mean, that we've heard that.
If they won,
before.
I mean, I could that be the case? I mean, Reagan from R&R said no, but I mean, is that if you lose this type of matchup, is this cracks in the armor?
But with going from a Heisman winning quarterback to a backup that was clearly overwhelmed last week in his first start.
I agree with you.
I mean, because that's the way I'm kind of looking at it is if Bryce Young doesn't end up starting, I think it makes for a great case later on when, if Alabama continues to roll, if they're trying to get into the playoffs and they got this loss, I think that you can make an argument that, playing your backup quarterback in that situation on the road, tough environment, even though it didn't seem like the voters were very pro-Alabama after the way they dropped him in the rankings after the A&M game.
Well, they want Alabama to lose.
Yeah,
that's that.
But do I think that it's chinks in the armor? Tennessee's a really good football team, and sometimes really good football teams are they're going to beat you. I know that doesn't happen often, under Nick Saban. I think that might be the point there. But 15-year streak. It's got to end at some point. Right. It has to. Is it this year? I don't know. But every year that it goes on longer, it gets that much more difficult. So do I think that this has any bearing on where the dynasty stands? Not even a little bit now.
Not even a little bit. So this game isn't that significant when you talk about that.
Oh, yeah. It's significant. But, for many other reasons, I think it's a lot more significant for Tennessee.
Right.
This would be a great way to kind of announce to everybody that you are back, right? This isn't a Texas we're back kind of thing, and then they finally play a halfway decent team and get railroaded.
Right.
If you can beat Alabama, even if it's a Jalen Milroe led Alabama, I still think you're going to have to put up some points. And if you can do that against Alabama's defense, I think that there's a case, that you need to be considered in the college football elite. So I think it's very important for Tennessee. For Alabama, it's certainly important as well. I think from a fan's perspective, if you didn't have the rivalry factor of it, they would actually, I'm not saying they would want Bryce to sit, but if it meant, keeping him healthy down the stretch and getting more out of him later, you don't necessarily have to win this football game, really, if you're either team. If you continue to win out, regardless of who ends up, losing, you're still in the SEC championship and you're still in the college football playoff picture.
Yeah, like if Alabama loses this game and then all of a sudden you got to play Mississippi State next week, and if you lose the state, the Egg Bowl is the trip to Atlanta. Can you imagine that? Like within 2 weeks, the entire way that we look at SEC football could be different.
I didn't think about that. You just brought it up.
Crazy to think about, right?
It's very wild.
I don't think it's going to happen, but it's crazy to think about. All right, give me your score.
I've gone back and forth. I do think Bryce plays. I do think he's healthy enough to, be effective, which I think is the important thing. I don't think if he can't operate the offense as he normally would, to at least, some degree, then I don't think he's playing. But so I do think he plays. I do think he is effective. I'm going to go ahead and say 37-27 Alabama. But there are 1,000 other scenarios that, it could end up playing out differently, just depending on the health of some of these people and the way that certain guys respond, because we just don't know.
Right. Look, what I want to do is tell Ben Slotnick, who's one of my interns with the Smokies who showed up today, to take what would you spend $400 for your ticket? Take that $400, go to FanDuel or go to Pearl River Resort and put it on Bama. All right, put it on Bama because Bama's going to roll. Bama's going to roll today. I don't even care what the situation is at quarterback. They just have better players at every position except maybe quarterback and a couple receivers. This team also, Tennessee's the one eating the rat poison right now. They're not eating good food like we have here at Trotter's Whole Hog. They haven't had the amazing meatloaf and the smoked chicken and the sausage and the potato salad and the beans. They don't have the orange sauce. They're eating rat poison. They've heard about how great they are. They're about to find out that there's still a little bit of travel between where they're at and where they want to be in the pecking order. I think the spread's way too low. I think Alabama's going to roll 55-30. Big, lot of scoring.
Love it.
Lot of scoring.
Okay.
All right. That does it for our show. I want to thank everyone that helped make this possible. Our friend Tony Thunderberg, who put this thing together here in Sevierville, Tennessee. Visit Sevierville. If you guys planning your vacations, whether it's in the fall and you want to go check out all the great driving tours around here, or you want to swing by on your way for Christmas, there's not a better place to spend Christmas than here in Sevierville and in the Smoky Mountains. The folks at Trotters for making, they probably gained about 10 pounds on me today,
worth every bit of it.
It was so great. Great to see Ben, and for our entire crew, including Chris Daughtry, Kyle Henderson, and you, Clint Lamb, who made it. Thank you.
Did a lot of questionable things to get here.
But you got here.
But I got here.
Yeah, that's all
we're
that matters.
safe. Yeah, everybody else is safe. We're good to go.
Everybody's safe. All right, that does it for us. Don't forget, after the game on the Bama Insider YouTube channel, Jay Barker and me will be answering your questions. We'll be talking about the game, breaking it down with you on the Bama Insider YouTube channel. Appreciate everyone that watched, all the comments, and all those radio stations. Roll Tide across the state of Alabama. The Crimson Tide and the Tennessee Vols kick it off at 2:30. We'll be back next week when we preview Alabama and Mississippi State. But for our entire crew here on the Bama Insider Tailgate Show, I'm Mick Gillispie. Thanks for hanging out with us, and Roll Tide.